What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the CaliKidOfficial Podcast. This is episode number 20. A lot didn't happen this past week, so let's get right into it. So, last week I said I was going to talk about the projects by Lady Gaga, Yachty, and Kygo. So, I had a chance to listen to all three. So, here we go. So, we're going to start first with Lady Gaga. Her Chromatica album was a pretty dope album, 16 songs. Very EDM influence. She used a lot of different EDM style records within this. This was her plan. She said that she wanted to show her appreciation and her love of it, so that's why she went this route. And it started off pretty cool. The intro was very orchestra based, and then it moves into the album. Like, she broke it down into 3 chromaticas, which is ironic, which is the name of the album. And actually the term chromatica is like this type of planet where she's like this type of warrior on there or whatever. So that's how she came up with that. But yeah, it's broken down into 3 chromaticas. The first part has 5 songs. So beginning, the middle has 5 songs, and then the end has 3 songs. My favorites from the album were Stupid Love, Rain on Me, Free Woman, Plastic Doll, and Sour Candy. That was a record she did with Blackpink. I'm interested in the MV once, things get back to, some sense of normalcy. But overall, it was a pretty dope album. But yeah, the album deals with a variety of different themes. She starts talking about mental health, healing, love, persevering through hardships, because she had disappeared from the spotlight for a while. So apparently she was dealing with some things, and she basically addresses it throughout the project. Like in the song Free Woman, she talks about being comfortable with herself and not needing someone to prop her up to make her feel better. And then on 911, she talks about being her own worst enemy and turning to drugs to cope with things. And people that's typically within the spotlight like that, they usually turn to their vices instead of seeking, professional help to cope with whatever they're going through. But my advice would be to seek professional help before you start turning to different vices, because it get to a point to where it's too late, and then you're gone. So if you're ever dealing with something, speak to someone and talk to them about it. But she has another song called 1,000 Doves. This is talking about a relationship, and then she says she felt like she was trapped within the relationship, and I guess once things were over, she felt free, like 1,000 doves, like releasing doves into the air, like they typically do or whatever. But overall, I would say that album was dope. I gave it a 9.4 out of 10. So if you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you guys do. But moving on from that project, we got Little Yachty, Little Boat 3. Had 19 songs. The opening track, he kind of adopts Fetty Wap's flow, which I thought was kind of interesting. Favorites were Split / Whole Time, TD, Demon Time, Oprah Bank Account, Don't Forget, Up There Music, and West Side. One of the standout lines was from one of the features by TROX. She said, "I'm the type to walk in your house and shit on your mattress." Like, that's just nasty. But overall, I gave the project 11 out of 19, which comes to 5.8 out of 10. As I was saying last week, I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of this project, but I do have to say it was a step up from Little Boat 2. But it does get kind of repetitive, which is like a common theme I've seen with a lot of artists nowadays. They repeatedly rap about the same thing. But when you actually put forth like a conscientious body of work, it tends to do better and appeal more to people. Like Polo G's project, The GOAT, that was a very well thought out and concise body of work. So if artists start to put more substance into their music, it will benefit them. It will benefit them. You see a lot of artists with these low album sales and stuff is because people get tired of listening to the same thing over and over again, like the same beats, the same flow, the same rapping about, materialistic things. It gets boring. Like, give people some substance. Moving on from that project, we also got Kyago's project, Golden Hours, had 18 songs. My favorites on here were Freedom, Beautiful, To Die For. On his record, they basically talk about how much they value the woman and that they're willing to do whatever it takes to, defend their honor and whatnot. I also like Broken Glass, Higher Love, Say You Will, Like It Is, Hurting, and Only Us. I gave the project a 10 out of 18. That comes to about a 5.5 out of 10. Some of the records were kind of to me, but for the most part, it was pretty cool. But that's going to pretty much do it for the new music this week. With everything going on, it's not a whole bunch of artists releasing new music or whatever, out of respect for what's going on. And speaking of that, we basically have the aftermath of, the killings of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. So basically, people have been protesting all around the world, all throughout the U.S., Tokyo, London, Japan, Finland, pretty much everywhere I ain't seen protests. I ain't even seen, protests close to my house.
He said, "What's your?"
Peaceful ones, but people have been protesting. The government then pretty much issue like martial law. There's been curfews and stuff for different counties or whatever, because you got people out here looting and vandalizing stuff. You even have the police participating in it, and it's like they still haven't learned. But in particular to the George Floyd case, there have been charges brought against all four officers. The main officer, Chaffin, he was charged with second-degree murder without intent, as well as third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. And his bail has been up from $500,000 to $1 million. The other officers, Tao, Thomas Lane, Alexander Kuhn, they all were charged with aiding and abetting second-degree murder, and their bail was set to $1 million. So they had the preliminary hearings or whatever, and of course the other three officers are putting most of the blame on Chaffin and basically saying that he's responsible, and their defense attorneys are saying that what were they supposed to do? They're they're rookies, or they wasn't on the force for long. It's like this: you have to hold your counterparts accountable for their actions, regardless of their rank or anything. Yeah, one of the officers said, should we put the guy on his side or whatever, but you guys participated and aided in the murder of that guy. The main officer had his knee on the guy's neck. The other officers was holding the dude's legs, and another officer had a knee in the dude's back. So y'all all participated in killing that man. So y'all all gonna go down for it. So it is what it is. But the state of Minnesota has brought civil charges against the Minnesota Police Department, which means that they're going to be launching an internal investigation into how they've been doing things. Hopefully something comes out of that. But for the most part, all these different departments still don't get it. They're out here just doing whatever. I ain't seen, in Atlanta, you had cops pull over some college students and tase them and break the windows on their car and everything else for no reason. I ain't seen cops unloading bricks to assist with the with the melee in Boston. We ain't seen that in New York. I ain't seen cops run people over with their cars. I ain't seen in Philly they ain't mock the dude, like all types of stuff. So I want to show you guys some of these videos. They even shot at somebody on a property because of curfew, but that curfew only applies to public places, not your own residence. So they just out here tripping. So look at this. This is New York. Yeah, like look at that. That's not even necessary. You attacking a dude on a bike, push the old man. Shit is crazy. Yeah, they in charge and beat the non-violent offender. It's like y'all still don't get it. Still don't get it. Still don't get it. Put the blame on the protesters and not law enforcement. And that's the problem. Y'all not holding yourselves accountable. Y'all want to put the blame on the people when it's y'all that initiated this in the first place. It ain't the people going out there doing that, it's y'all. Y'all gotta hold yourselves accountable. And that's the problem. No type of accountability. Like, crazy. Like, this is the Atlanta thing right here. Like, that's not even necessary. Stabbing holes in a car. You firing those rubber bullets at people, but those rubber bullets have steel and metal fragments in them, and it's messing people up. It's like y'all doing all this and y'all haven't learned. Like, this is a video right here where they shot at the people on their doorstep. This is the National Guard or whatever.
Yes, they just keep coming.
Watch.
Go inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get your house now! Let's go! Light him up!
Heard that?
Go inside now! Get in the house!
Like, that's illegal.
Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in, get in! Get in!
Oh my god, that hurt. You good?
Are you okay?
Right on the fucking crotch.
Are you okay? You got hit?
I'm good. They're fucked.
Like, that's not even necessary. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Y'all just out here free willy just doing whatever. So, but yeah, it's so much craziness going on. Like, man, it's like you seen what happened and y'all still doing the same shit. So, and then like this, like y'all walking down the street. Why are you busting windows in people's cars? Y'all contributing to it. Like, look at this. What are you doing that for? That's crazy. Look, destroying property. Y'all saying it's a no, y'all contributing to it. Because the problem is, most of these police departments is infiltrated with members of these different, groups that want to serve anarchy, and that's what's going on. I ain't seen so much. Like, look at this. You got a gun pointed at a dude with his daughter on his shoulders. For what? And this is the video I was talking about. Like, y'all unloading bricks and stuff. So y'all contributing to it. This is whoever's pulling the strings, which I believe is somebody with deep pockets that's sending the order down for these officers to act like that. Because what they really want to do is to implement overall martial law. You got this man-made virus that they didn't put out, and then you got this.
They're doing that for undercover police officers that are getting involved in the
Like, look,
protests.
they got the bricks in the back of their truck.
So.
There's fucking
Crazy.
What the fuck are those?
Yeah, they unloading bricks from the back of their truck and stashing them around different cities within the U.S.
Fuck.
They're collecting
Yo,
all
what
those
the
bricks so that the
fuck?
protesters don't fucking use them, dude. That's what they're doing.
Yep.
They're doing that for undercover police officers that are getting involved in the protests so that they have an excuse to beat the shit out of people.
Yep. You heard what he said? They doing that to have an excuse to beat the shit out of people. That's exactly what's going on. So this ain't gonna die down until all this gets corrected. Which, judging by the looks of it, is not gonna be for a while. Not gonna be for a while. It's crazy. Like, I ain't even seen, you know, police instructing people to graffiti walls, and I ain't seen them taking pictures next to the. It's like, this shit is crazy. But all this is being perpetuated by someone with deep pockets and influence. Because why would a group of police officers be unloading bricks and stashing them somewhere? You know, all police follow the orders of someone. So that order came down from somewhere. But, you know, shit is crazy. And then you got this in Philly. Like, listen to this.
You fucking stupid! Shut up! I can't! That shit don't work here! I'm trying! I can't breathe! Shut up, asshole! I can't! You fucking stupid!
See that?
I can't! That shit don't work!
You making a mockery of the dude saying that he can't breathe. Shut up, that don't work here, asshole. That's the problem. Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all just out here willy-nilly and everything. Like, that shit ain't cool at all. And a lot of these different instances ain't gonna be answered. They're just gonna be swept under the rug. Like, usually it's a constant abuse of power, and the people are tired of it. That's why a lot of these people is rioting and burning stuff down. Some of them is opportunists, but others are frustrated. And then, you know, you had the whole Blackout Tuesday thing, and then of course, you know, you have the other side that tried to hijack it with whiteout Wednesday or whatever. And, you know, coming to the rescue, you know, the K-pop fans, you know, shout out to them. As I've said, you know, before in different videos, they're very loyal, and, you know, they're an ally in this fight. And to pretty much neutralize that, they took those hashtags and posted, you know, K-pop video. So when you click on that, it's not no racist stuff. It's, you know, a bunch of different things dealing with K-pop, which I thought was pretty dope. You know, so shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. That's cool. You know, some other, you know, effects of this whole thing. The Ahmaud case will be brought to trial. That was yesterday, June 4th. They had the preliminary trial, basically to see whether or not there was enough evidence to bring it to trial, and there is. We've had testimony from one of, I believe it was the DA or whatever. There's video showing that this was a racially motivated incident where one of the guys was heard standing over Ahmaud saying, "You effing N-word." So they gonna go down for this. Hopefully they, you know, they get life or the needle or whatever. The mayor of LA plans on defunding the police department and reinvesting that money, which amounts to about $250 million within the black community. So I've seen a lot of that, a lot of different corporations donating money, but we're gonna have to see what actually comes out of that, because, you know, you can do a whole bunch of donating and then those funds mysteriously disappear and don't actually help the people that they were intended for. I'm also going to be leaving some links to different petitions and other important information in regards to what's going on within the description, so you guys can check that out. We also saw the mayor of DC, she renamed 16th Street the Black Lives Matter Plaza, and she also had much of the road painted with Black Lives Matter too, which I thought was pretty cool. So wanted to show y'all that. I see this is like a picture. Those that's listening, you can see the visual on YouTube. But yeah, you see it stretches down most of the street, which I thought was pretty cool. Right here, this is basically a video, I guess, of them putting up the sign, which I thought that's a pretty cool gesture. Pretty cool gesture. And then also we get the co-founder of Reddit has stepped down. His name is Alexis Ohanian, which is the guy that's married to Serena Williams. He stepped down, and he basically asked that they find a black replacement, which I thought, you know, was honorable. He says he plans to donate, you know, to initiatives dealing with what's going on, as well as use his future stock to, you know, support those initiatives. So he also put out a video as well. So we're gonna take a listen to that.
15 years ago, I co-founded Reddit as a place for people to find community and a sense of belonging. It is long overdue to do the right thing. I'm doing this for me, for my family, and for my country. I'm saying this as a father who needs to be able to answer his black daughter when she asks, "What did you do?" So, I have resigned as a member of the Reddit board. I have urged them to fill my seat with a black candidate, and I will use future gains on my Reddit stock to serve the black community, chiefly to curb racial hate. And I'm starting with a pledge of $1 million to Colin Kaepernick's Know Your Rights camp. I believe resignation can actually be an act of leadership from people in power right now, and to everyone fighting to fix our broken nation, do not stop.
See, I appreciate, you know, these different people stepping up. That's dope that they're doing that. It really is. Then another thing that came out of this, apparently some of the employees at Adidas are trying to put pressure on the company, because if you don't know, Adidas is one of those companies that have been a place that has been rumored to have racist, you know, policies and things going on, and then the things being swept under the rug. So the employees plan to protest the company. So let me go down. Okay, she says Adidas has promoted a racist work environment over the years, and the numerous racist incidents have gone unchecked. My existence at this brand is praised as diversity and inclusion, but when I look around, I see no one above or around that looks like me. The note read, I can no longer stand for Adidas' consistent complacency in taking active steps against a racist work environment. This is not business as usual. She and other employees will be protesting the brand's actions until they step up and apologize. Adidas has shown that there is a high tolerance for racism, Bond said. How many times have I gone into HR about a racist incident only to be met with responses about the inflictor's intent versus their impact, thus negating my experience? And this is a lot, this happens a lot within a lot of within a lot of companies. You know, you have these different instances, and I guess to prevent a backlash or to save face with those that have been there for a certain period of time, they try to sweep things under the rug, or they might just fire the person that's making the complaint. So since then, I guess Adidas has issued a statement, because, you know, a fire's been lit under their ass, and a bunch of these different other companies. They say Adidas has always been and will always be against discrimination in all forms. We are deeply saddened by what we see happening to our black community in America. Racism is an issue that exists not only in the U.S. but in all countries. We want to see justice. We're committed to creating change. We're listening. We recognize that we have not done enough, and we are dedicating more. We are close to finalizing our commitments to ensure our people, most important, our black employees, are heard. So yeah, they basically, you know, put that out there, but they do. A lot of these companies lack that diversity. You know, the different positions a lot of times are out of reach because of, you know, old policies and practices, and that has to change in order for any of this to really make a difference. Because you could donate money all day long. That doesn't mean it's going to change anything. The people within the system have to change. Those that are holding people back, they have to change. Those that hate have to love. Moving on from that, get into a bit of shenanigans. So apparently Jake Paul found himself in some more trouble. So he and his crew of videographers thought it would be a good idea to basically videotape the looting and vandalism that was going on. So they went to some mall in Scottsdale, Arizona, and they were basically videotaping people looting the mall. So for one, even if y'all didn't partake in looting and vandalizing, you're already breaking the law because you're illegally on a premises that's locked down to the public at the moment. So there's that. And then at one point they're saying that one of the somebody said get something for me within the video. I didn't watch the video, but that's what I've heard. I don't know how true that is, but Jake and his crew were charged with criminal trespassing and unlawful assembly, which is misdemeanors, which means that they're probably just gonna have to pay a fine or do community service. Jake needs to take a book from Logan Paul. Logan Paul made a big mistake a few years back when he videotaped that body in the forest within Japan. Since then, he's been making amends. So you need to take a page out of his book. Everything doesn't have to be content, and that's the problem. A lot of people think everything is for the internet when it's not. It's okay to videotape things, but don't put yourself in a situation to where you can be hurt or you can be put in jail or whatever. Because yeah, you guys were videotaping that. What if the people that was looting or whatever decide to say, oh look, it's Jake Paul, let's rob this guy, let's take his video camera, let's take his keys, take his car and all this other stuff. Then it would be another situation. You didn't have people, looting, then killed people, trying to protect their businesses and stuff from being looted and all types of crazy stuff. So it's like, if you're not out there peacefully protesting, don't just be out there to be seen, because you have a lot of people that's just being out there to be seen, not really caring about what's going on. So, but moving on from that, Drew Brees found himself in some trouble due to a tone-deaf statement in regards to taking a knee. So basically he was asked, how do you feel about the possibility of football players taking a knee within this upcoming season? And he says, I will never support people who disrespect the flag by taking a knee. Now, seeing everything that's going on, you would think that he would have a clue and not say something like that. The whole purpose of taking a knee was to bring awareness to what was going on. And another thing, you saying taking a knee is disrespecting the flag. Well, when people take a knee, they take a knee to get knighted, which is a ceremony. They take a knee when you're proposing. They take a knee for a fallen brethren within the army. Oh, and get this, it was an army veteran that proposed the idea to Kaepernick to take a knee. So if it was so disrespectful, why would that person do that? And that person was Nate Boyer, who's a retired Army Green Beret. It's not disrespectful. You have to get out of this narrow mindset of, oh, if you don't stand up for a flag or if you take a knee during the flag, it's disrespect. It's not disrespect. That flag means something different to you than it does for other people. Yeah, you may feel a sense of pride or whatever with that flag, but for other people, they don't feel that because what is promised under that flag isn't promised for everybody. It's the same thing as if, let's take the swastika for example. The swastika has been around for thousands of years, way before there was even a Nazi Germany or whatever, who they pretty much hijacked it and turned it into a symbol of hate. Let's say that the original people, behind that were alive today and they were walking around, with that on. around a bunch of Jewish people. Do you think the Jewish people will feel the same way about that symbol, you know, as the original people of that? No, because it is something different to them. Same thing in this situation. So you can't expect, you know, the flag to mean the same thing to you that it does to other people. So since then, you know, he came out with the apology. Oh, I didn't mean to upset people or whatever. And then, you know, he was talking about how his grandfathers and stuff fall under that flag and stuff too. Black families fall under that flag as well, along with your grandfather. And when they came home, they didn't get none of the praise or benefits of those that fought alongside with them. In fact, you know, you had times where they were beaten if they were seen in their military outfits and stuff. So that's crazy. But you know, you got people calling for him to possibly retire or whatever. But I don't know what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some type of fallout with that. But so much didn't happen out of this event, which is crazy. One of the things I thought was kind of ironic, this guy basically parodied Kendall Jenner's Pepsi commercial, where she basically walks up to a cop and hands him a Pepsi, which was supposed to like fix everything that was going on. I hate when videos start when you didn't want them to start, but this is basically the video of the dude reenacting the Pepsi commercial. So
hey, you got like a Kardashian over here. Hey, look, it's a Pepsi. Want a Pepsi? Have it.
I tried
Have a Pepsi, dude.
Put it down.
No. Oh! It helped in the commercial.
So basically what the dude did is he walked up to the officer and offered him a Pepsi. The officer turned him down. He says, I don't even drink soda. But then the guy that was trolling was like, but it helps in the commercial. So I thought that was kind of funny, you know. I ain't seen a lot of that too. You have people cracking jokes on the different officers. Like this one dude called one of the officers Crimson Chin, and then the officer started laughing. Then in Atlanta, then one of the officers had this small shield, and then he walked. When the dude with the camera walked up to him and was like, "Little ass shield, boy. They gave you a little ass shield," and he started cracking up. But you know, even when bad things is going on, you know, you always have those people, you know, that try to bring a sense of humor to the situation, which I think is good. You know, even though it's a serious situation, you gotta do these type of things. You know, moving on from that, some craziness went down in Atlanta. So apparently some guy checked into the Hilton hotel within Atlanta and was looking for 21 Savage for some reason, and basically demanded to know where he was. He didn't get the information that he wanted, and he ended up pistol whipping the female clerk and shot her, which is crazy. This happened around 2 a.m. on Wednesday, and she was hit twice in the shoulder and once in the arm. It's said that she's in critical condition, and it's like, dude, what? I don't know if this is an op, as the term is called, or some crazy person, but it's like people be losing their goddamn mind. Like, the world going to shit, people losing their goddamn mind, people acting like they don't got no sense. Like, it's crazy. And so they managed to get an interview with the guy that called the police for the situation. So I'm about to pull that up for you guys real quick.
Yeah, I was inside the hotel at the time. I was at the front desk, and the guy, he's a guest, we checked him in yesterday, and he just came downstairs. I kid you not, he just tripping, just saying, I'm looking for 21 Savage. Kid you not, he said, where's 21 Savage? He started tripping, and he pulled a gun out on the girl at the front desk and pistol whipped her a few times, and he let off about 4 shots. And I believe he struck my coworker.
What in the world was going through your mind when all this happened?
I was just trying to, I wanted to help my coworker. I really feel bad, but the same time,
Yeah, he was trying to die. Shit.
I just wanted to make sure, you know, that the police authorities got here so everyone could be safe.
And do you work at the front desk also?
Yes, I'm a supervisor at the Hilton.
That's crazy.
Did you help the young lady?
Did I help the young lady? Yes, I did. I helped as much as I could. You know, it's just a crazy situation.
Do you know the young lady?
Yes,
And
she's a good friend of mine.
How kind of person?
She's just a sweet, loving person. Cares about a lot of people. She wouldn't do anything to hurt anyone.
And what's going to happen now is they're going to have armed security, so a situation like this don't happen again. That's crazy though. That's what I'm talking about. Like, people losing their goddamn mind just doing dumb shit. Like, there is no need for somebody to do something like that. She ain't had nothing to do with whatever was going on with the person that did this.
Where is 21 Savage? Verbatim, where the f is 21 Savage?
And what a lot of people might say or think is this has something to do with the whole Young Chop and 21 Savage thing. Because Young Chop went around Atlanta stirring up trouble looking for 21 Savage and ended up getting shot at or whatever. And now you got this. Shit is crazy. Oh, so they called the dude. That's cool. So the guy is 30-year-old Kyron Benjamin. He's been charged with aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by they gonna throw the book at him. So hope it was worth it, idiot. Yeah, like that's all they talking about. Like, people be doing way too much. You know. Hopefully, you know, she recovers. Well, it did say she was in critical condition, so I believe she's gonna pull through. But it's like, why should a person even have to go through that? That's just that right there is crazy to me. Well, moving on from that, Ian Connor is in the news again. Apparently, he's been accused of misconduct with women. The number is up to 33, and since being made aware that he's basically trolled the situation, he feels as though that he hasn't done anything wrong and that all of these accusations are baseless. So he pretty much went on a troll spree, so I wanted to get into that. So let's see here. He says, make the number 31 or 78 or even 1,000 while y'all at it. And yes, I'm laughing out of pure amusement. Ciao. Then he says, I've seen it all on the internet. It must be true. That's basically going to, if it's on the internet, it must be true. So he's making fun at that. Then he says, I'm actually gay. Then laughing and crying emojis. He said, I sold my soul to get back on top. I'm illuminated. Hey, again, y'all get up off this internet, this dirty, mischievous internet, and go vote. I'm just an imaginary enemy, not the real problem. I'll give away half my bank account if y'all successfully cancel me. And that's on Blood, Raven, and Olivia. I say this with the utmost composure and conscious mind. And message to all: bullying exists. Cancel culture doesn't. Cancel culture is a form of bullying. You know, you have people that do things that they end up regretting, and then people want to cancel them and stuff. Some people I think deserve forgiveness. Others I don't think so much, especially if you repeatedly make the same mistake over and over again. But who knows whether he's guilty of doing what he's accused of. We won't know until this goes to trial or whatever, or if there are even charges filed against him, which he talks about later on. He says $500,000 this month. Find a way to cancel me and get half spread out of it. I'm not a singer nor rapper. I don't answer to nobody but Raven, Allah, and myself. I create my own bags for me and my people. All this extra shit is just piping me up, for real. I apologize. I shouldn't be trolling, no matter how personal it may be to self. I'm gonna get off y'all's internet for a bit. And then you have a change.org petition for, I guess, him to be charged or whatever. He says, sign this petition to make my friends / peers stop fucking with me. Make sure y'all sign that petition for me not to have friends anymore instead of taking actual legal action. It's 2020 where attention is more important than actual justice, right? Y'all too scary. That's y'all problem. How the fuck y'all gonna run from someone on the streets of this here internet? How insecure and weak do you gotta be to run from lies and conform out of popularity? Boy, I can't go simple. So basically, he's making light of the situation. When you're a celebrity, you're a target. So a lot of times you do have instances where you're accused of doing things that you didn't do. The number 33 is a lot. Who knows? Maybe one or two is true. Maybe none of them are true. Who knows? Nobody knows except for him and the people that's accusing. So, you know, you have this, you have one side, then you have another side, and then, as they say, the truth is in the middle. So ain't no telling what's going to come up out of that, but just going to have to wait and see. With everything that's going on, you know, it's going to be a minute before a lot of these different cases are ever even making it into court. This past what was yesterday? Thursday. On Thursday, 6ix9ine and Akademiks, they went live on Instagram, basically trolling a bit. There were some serious parts. They was reaching out to people within the comments to try to do a verse for one of the songs he's working on for his album. So there was that. Then he starts 6ix9ine starts trolling the struggling rappers or whatever. They also him and Akademiks fake box, which is kind of like them trolling, you know, YK or Cyrus going around boxing everybody. But I wanted to show those videos too. So this first one is them fake boxing. Hit him with a gut shot. Like, they stupid. Royce the 5'9" posted it. He said, "Who's behind this ridiculousness?" And then he tagged Snapdog. Let's see, let's go down. So I think this is the part right here where he talks about Pop Smoke.
In jail. And I'm actually a fan of the kid. Like, I'm actually a fan of him.
You said he was checking for you before, you know, what all that stuff happens. I mean, it's good to
Nah, rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Listen, they shouldn't have done that. That was a great talent for New York City.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest with you, he was the fresh New York City, like the fresh.
He was. He brought something new for New York, because New York didn't don't really have their own sound. They too busy copying everybody.
The poppin' people in New York like did a verse on it, like kind of like.
Oh, One Train.
Yeah, I want to see
ASAP Rock.
But like the whole Instagram live video is like 40 minutes or something like that. Then they start talking about whether or not Blueface is a one-hit wonder or whatever. Which, I mean, technically no. Because he's had other records that's charted on Billboard, but he hasn't put out a song that's been on par with his breakout hit Tatiana. So there's that as well. So let me see if there's some other videos too. 6ix9ine trolling again. This happened today, I guess. He says, if Kanye, who is way more famous than all these rappers, is outside protesting with the people, why is the wannabe Martin Luther King not, but has no problem dropping a song during times like this to capitalize? But you, the voice for the streets, you fucking clown. Yeah, he ain't gonna let Meek Mill live it down, because Meek Mill was one of the most vocal people about him coming home or whatever. So, oh yeah, this is other things. Sony launches $100 million fund to support social justice, anti-racist initiatives. Yeah, these music labels should have been the first ones into it, because y'all profit the most off of black culture and black people in general. Let's see what else is going on. 6ix9ine, don't mention my name if you ain't on no gangster shit, BlockBoy. Oh yeah, because they was talking about the rappers that ain't fell off, and they was talking about BlockBoy and all them. That's what's going on with that. And this is the song that he was talking about, Other Side of America, that he put out. Let's see. Yeah, this is the part I think with Blueface right here. 6ix9ine says Blueface is a one-hit wonder and is falling off.
You think Blueface the one?
Yo, bro, who's that? That's the kid with the all the fake watches.
See, he
I
trolling.
don't know about it.
He said that
he has a
because
song called-
those that's listening, Blueface has a picture of him with a whole bunch of watches down his arm. And you know, 6ix9ine was in prison when Blueface blew up, which is, it don't seem like it, but I guess because he was inside for what, almost 2 years, or about 2 years.
Tatiana. That song blew him up. You know, he was kind of a viral sensation before because he fell off. I mean, maybe he hasn't had a song like Tatiana. And when that came out though, I was locked up. Yeah. But like, what is he doing now? Is he like on tour? He at the crib. He just box like it was ours. Nobody's on tour right now, you know. No, I'm saying like, what is he doing? Like, what is he doing? He's surviving.
When he said that shit was funny. What he's doing, he's surviving. What the fuck? Yo, 6ix9ine be trolling so much, that should be funny. That should be funny.
What else, like, similar sex type shit? Alright, I guess I'm asking you your definition of a one-hit wonder, because Tatiana was his biggest song, but he's had other songs, they just haven't been as big. So like,
he has.
Top 20 song for him. I don't think he's had a top 20 song since. Is that a one-hit wonder, or that was a song that blew him up? I mean, has he had a song to follow up the Dottie song? I personally like Bleed It, but you know, was it a hit? Not in terms of vocal. He fell off. That's to be perfectly honest. I'm gonna be alright. So let me listen. My trashiest song. I think my most trashiest song
Tati.
that I put out commercially, like you know how I do it every month, will probably be Tati, and Tati's platinum, and it got the lowest views, it got the lowest streaming, and that is a platinum record. Do you think Blueface won? Yeah, bro.
I mean, you can say what you want, but when it comes to the music thing, he's not wrong. His songs do be going gold and platinum, so people may not like him or whatever, because he be trolling too. But that trolling shit be funny. But he not wrong. And then of course, you know, Blueface responded. He posted his Billboard stuff. I think that, yeah. So it says Tatiana peaked at number 4. Then he has the song Daddy with Rich the Kid, peaked at 30. West Coast, which was with G-Eazy at 37. Bleed It 46, and Slide. But yeah, none of those songs made the top 20, which is what they was talking about. So if you scroll, let's see, go over. Let's see, where's the comments at? Yeah, so here's the comments. This kid sold 12K with all these hits. So yeah, that's, you know, 6ix9ine trolling again. So what did it say? If you can be a rat on a billboard, take me off this. I don't want no association. That's cool, but that don't got nothing to do with what they were talking about, whether you fell off or not. Yeah, you've had other songs that's charted, but you haven't put nothing out that's been on par or surpassed that Tatiana record. And that's why, you know, the album sales is so low. And then, you know, 6ix9ine and Trippy Girl kind of got into it. Basically, she said that she was going to expose him. She put out this video of how he set up the whole trolling thing of him supposedly sleeping with her or whatever. But I don't really want to go too much into that. But we gonna move on over into the NBA. So the NBA is going to be returning July 31st. They pretty much finalized everything in Orlando. 22 teams are going to be invited to complete the season. 13 from the West, 9 from the East. Each team will play 8 games, which will be for seeding purposes. And there will be a play-in for the AFC. The added teams are New Orleans, which I talked about them trying to forcibly get the Pelicans involved because, you know, Zion Williamson is big bucks or whatever. You got Portland, Phoenix, Sacramento, San Antonio, and Washington will join the current playoff team. So The way it's set up, if the 9th seed is more than 4 games behind the 8th seed, then the 8th seed will make the playoffs. But if they're fewer than 4 games, then there will be a play-in tournament. And the play-in format requires double elimination for the 8th seed and single elimination for the 9th seed. They also announced the return of the draft lottery, which will be taking place August 25th. And the official NBA draft will be October 15th. So, that's some good news. Some more sports are going to be integrating back to normal. Because the only sports that's really been putting on shows is, of course, WWE, AEW, and the UFC. Speaking of UFC, Dana White has announced some updates to Fight Island. So I wanted to pull up that video. So here we go.
Can you just tell me that Fight Island is still going to happen?
Fight Island is real and it's happening. The date of Fight Island is going to be July 11th. Saturday, July 11th will be the first fight on Fight Island.
Now, do you know where the island is located?
I do, yeah. Nobody else knows, though.
Can you tell us? Can you tell us what ocean?
I'll tell you next week. Let us ask you 2 questions.
Can you tell us what ocean?
Is it in an ocean?
Yes.
Is it in the Pacific Ocean?
I'm not saying.
Oh, I see.
I want to know where the fuck Fight Island is.
I want to know where the fuck Fight Island is. That's funny. But I wonder who's going to be fighting there. Because going through all those measures to secure an island means that they're going to have to put some type of special fight on there. Yeah, there's been talk of Conor McGregor and Anderson Silva having a super fight or whatever. Because pretty much everybody within that division has a dance partner outside of him. And then, you got John Jones. He didn't have issues with the UFC because he wants to fight Francis Ngannou, but it will be a super fight, and the UFC don't want to budge up in his pay because at the moment he's paid $5 million per contract. Dana has said that he wants Deontay Wilder money, which is $30 million. John then said he never said anything about Deontay Wilder money, but since Dana brought it up, he'd take half of that, which is 15. So the UFC has it, and one of the big problems with the UFC is that they neglect to pay their players what they're actually worth. They make all this money off of their talent. I said players. They make all this money off their talent, but it's not reflected within their pay, and that's not cool. But yeah, he's moving up from light heavyweight to heavyweight. His pay should be up. He makes 5. Y'all said he wants 30. He said he's willing to take half of that, which is 15. Y'all can meet somewhere in the middle of that at say 8-9 million. So, but he's pretty much relinquished his title too, and he was in the news for stopping protesters from tagging stuff too as well. So there's that. And then this weekend we have UFC 250, which the main event will be Amanda Nunes versus Felicia Spencer for the featherweight title. I don't know too much about Felicia, but from what I've been watching, they said that she has some skills. Her current record is 8-1, so we'll just have to see with that. The co-main event is Rafael Unsunkau versus Cody Garbrandt. Cody, he's kind of taken a dip since he's lost to TJ Dillashaw. He has 3 losses. 2 of those losses against TJ. So there's that. Also on the card, you got Aljamain Sterling versus Corey Sandhagen, Neil Magny versus Anthony Rocco Martin, Eddie Wineland versus Sean O'Malley. But the event will be at 7 p.m. Saturday at the UFC Apex Center within Florida. So that should be interesting. But that's pretty much going to do it for this week's podcast. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. It was a lot to get through. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Those that are listening on Spotify or whatever else, make sure you guys like and save the podcast, share it. I have an album out called Euphoria. You guys can check that out. It's on all platforms. If you're listening and you want to watch the visual, head on over to my YouTube channel. I also have a merch site where you guys can buy merch. And until the next episode, peace.